Panos, if your boyfriend was going to dump you if you cried on camera, how much trouble did you get into for chasing the sound man around looking for his phone number?
I didn't get into trouble for that. He said fair play to you. He was good looking.
I actually worked with that sound man, and he is extremely attractive.
He's like the poster boy sound man.
Everyone wants him, and no one can get him.
Anyway, Panos, will you stay with us for part 3, because there's a bit of unseen footage that we need to show, which is you and Will and how you pass your time during the most important interviews of your life.
Okay.
We'll be back in 3. And you're very welcome back to the right venue, and we are joined again by Will McCreevy. Thank you. Guys, during your interviews, presumably you had a lot of downtime. There was a lot of hanging around between interviews.
Yeah.
There was, yeah. You will have seen that both of you have showed up on our nononsense.ie leaderboard, which is, it's nononsense.ie/apprentice, and it's all clips of, well, ye talking rubbish, basically. But this week's one is how the two of you, at this vitally important stage and facing into such an important interview, this is how the guys filled their time.
Bit mad, isn't it? Isn't it? No? My combination's a bit mad.
Oh, no. It's really nice.
All right.
Because when you're wearing a striped suit, everything else has to be plain.
Yeah. You can sometimes get away with a straight tie, sometimes.
Sometimes. Like that? Yeah, no, it's not perfect.
No, but they're subtle stripes, like, you know. This is very significant stripes, like, you know.
This is pink stripe.
Oh, jeez.
First of all, were you being honest, or were you just being nice to him? Was he all right?
No, I was honest, because not just that, I didn't just give advice to Will, but the boys, what you didn't see is that every morning they were waking up and they were coming to my bedroom and they were like, Panos, how do I look? Does that? I was like, yep, no, change that, go that. So
I think we were nearly going to escape up the Dundrum shopping centre there for a bit of change. See, my actual sister had, the 3 sisters had picked out everything and said, like, right, this goes with this. I hadn't a clue. I said, right, make sure you look good. And I was like, always gone to Panos in the house, right, is this okay, is this okay?
To second guess your sisters, or were you doing creative combinations?
No, you hadn't got the time. You were up at, geez, what, 5 o'clock, and you hadn't got time to pick out the combinations or anything like that, so it was Panos.
Shane, is that how they should have been spending their time during this job interview, discussing Will's suits?
That's why they're not in the final next week, isn't that true? Do you guys get on still? Do you still keep in touch?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so.
And will you continue to? And with the other contestants as well?
Yeah, I think myself and Panos never fell out with anybody, so I think we'll be friends with them.
Oh, there must be somebody who the pair you don't want to talk to. Is there anybody who you'd say, no, I don't want to take a phone call from them?
no, I wouldn't take a phone call from anybody, anyone from the contestants, but I haven't seen everybody. I've seen a few of them. But
there's nobody you didn't like in the whole thing?
No, I actually got on really well. And I think the 2 girls are unbelievable. Like, especially Niamh for her age, she's an unbelievable woman in terms of business. She's brilliant.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Niamh,
yeah.
But I have a sneaky suspicion that maybe Bill sees someone that more experienced going in, you know, and someone that can just. Michelle has a lot of more experience than Niamh. Niamh will be a rock star in 3 or 4 years. You know?
I think that Michelle is very ready for the job. She has more experience and she has performed amazingly well throughout the tasks. But I have to say that Niamh impressed me so much. She's only 23 years old and she's done so well. And the second factor is that she's from Wexford, my favourite county in Ireland. So.
Mairead, did you see the evidence of that with Niamh? Because so far Niamh hasn't been a shining light in the competition.
She's very good and she's very consistent. But what we didn't really see or get to know was her personality. You know, I felt when she walked out of that interview room, I didn't know her. No matter what question you threw at her, she handled herself brilliantly. And she came back very calm and very poised. And I would actually have liked to have seen a little bit more emotion from her.
Well, the big surprise during the interviews was, of course, Shane, the thing of the Playboy TV. Do you think that should be a problem for her, or is that won't do her any harm?
I think she's absolutely fascinating, and she's played it very, very well throughout. She's got this experience, which you were just talking about. She's also got a kind of mystery life, or that's what was portrayed in this thing, which makes her very, very interesting, and it makes her very experienced. Now, Niamh's got great qualities as well, but we don't know very much about her. She's almost appears that she's trying to hide that. She's a kind of robot and she's ultra efficient. Michelle has this little bit of mystique which she sells very, very well indeed, I think.
Although there was that thing of is she a bit, what was the phrase, a teary-eyed diva? I mean, we know that she's been on the receiving end of aggression.
The Playboy thing helps. I think that helps. She's seen a bit of life, you know, she knows what it's all about.
It's the first time I've ever heard it suggested that that's one thing you need on your CV. Yes, I've worked for Playboy.
Brilliantly after last week with the whole thing with Barry, and I think she just really handled herself very well. That could have really knocked her confidence, but it didn't. And she came in and she sold herself. So fair play to her for that, because he did give her a tough time.
I also think from watching the show as a viewer, you would want to get behind Michelle because you kind of see her come full circle. And you go, oh my God, I want her to win, because she's invested herself into the process of the programme.
A couple of people have said that Michelle is in it for the fame. She's not in it for the job, she wants publicity.
Oh no,
But
she's not there for the fame.
Michelle is pretty good, like she's really good. No way she's in for fame.
If she was there for the fame, she would have cracked at some point in the competition. Only someone that wants it really badly would just go through this process. But do not discount Niamh. She's absolutely brilliant. I am 33 years old, she's 23, and she just surprised me. I've learned things from her.
Well, as you know, guys, Bill gets to make a decision all on his own. Here we use democracy, so we need to check whether or not Bill was right about Will and Panos. And we'll start with Will. So you know the deal. If you think Will should have been fired, hold up your fired. If you think he should still be in the final, hold up the green card, you're hired. Let's see the cards. Oh, it's close. It's almost a fifth. I'm calling that a fired.
My dad, I think, was holding up a fire there. What's going on there? Tell you what.
All right, well, sorry, Will, bad news but then again, that was your own view. Right, let's check with the same process for Panos. If you think hired, blah, blah, blah. Let's see the cards. Oh, that's a hired. Yeah. That's an overwhelming hired. Very nice, Panos. Are you pleased?
Bill.
It's what?
Let's call Bill.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, but if it did. Nobody leaves empty-handed, guys, so we have to get you both a present.
Surprise! Share me!
Yeah. We decided that, given that you had developed a whole new theory of business, we should put it together in your very own business book. So this is Shaking the Trees on the back. William McCreevy, a 22-year-old from South Dublin, speaks of his 12 grueling weeks in the run-up to the semi-final of The Apprentice.
Cheers.
So there you go, Will. That is your Shaking the Trees. Pleasure, Will. Panos was an even trickier person to buy for. And we decided that one of the things that Panos was, of course, going to be suffering hugely from was withdrawal from Jamie. So we needed to get something that would remind you of him on a permanent basis.
Really?
So what we got you, we went back to the Kilkenny Design Store and got you the bowl that you and Jamie created.
Is it?
That is the actual bowl.
This is beautiful.
But we weren't sure that that would remind you enough of Jamie, so we got something that we thought just said Jamie every time you looked at it.
What on earth is that?
It's a paperweight.
It's a paperweight or it's a donut holder, depending on how you look at it. But this was made with Jamie and Panos' hands together. It is the symbol of their time together.
It's like that movie Ghost. It's so romantic.
So romantic.
It's one way to look at it. Panos, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, Panos, Will, and my thanks as well to my panel, Shane Ross, Mairead Fleming from Brightwater, Brian Dowling, and of course, David Block, the Managing Director of Brightwater Recruitment. And next week is an all-female final, and it's going to look a bit like this.
You are in the final. I think you need some help.
Okay, how are you feeling? Are you comfortable?
Yeah, very.
It basically picks up all the hot spots.
Jesus! My seed money and then I'm done. How am I over?
Heard of Senator Winston. Do we have 494?
You're hired.
Panos, Will, thank you both very much. Next week, we're back at 10:15, and of course, we're changing the name of the programme because next week it's going to be You're Hired. Until then, bye-bye.